Hi, everybody. This is Jason.
This is Pete.
And this is the Lost Legions podcast. And what are we doing today, Pete?
We talk about super heavies. Legion super heavies in particular.
Yeah.
So,
well, just because somebody will ask when we don't do the guard super heavies.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, this is a part of our detachment series. One of the final ones for the Crusade detachment, isn't it? So it's the...
and the final one for the Legions, too.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Think we've done everything up till now. And after this, we're going to do probably work on the actual Legions themselves, and then we'll probably start sprinkling in maybe like guard super heavies and other things as well.
Things that take our fancy. So yeah, because there's so many super heavies, it's just worth talking about. It's just worth caveating that the super heavies can be the super heavy detachment can take any super heavy across any faction. But yeah, so your list has option to more than what we're going to discuss today, but we're just going to discuss the Legion specific ones. We'll break it to faction specific. Good. Right. Jumping into it then. So we have, first things first, how this is accessed. So you can take up to 2 super heavies in a Lord of War detachment. As it says there, maybe of any faction. And the total points value of this detachment may not exceed 25% of the army total. I'm kind of sad about that. I kind of wish that they changed that. I would like it if it was like 25% for a single super heavy, or maybe, I don't know, 33%. Something else for 2 super heavies, because you want to run two Cerberus or 2 Typhons in. They're like cheap enough and not big enough to be like the showstopper super heavy. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's been like this the whole time, though.
I know.
So I'm gonna stand up for this rule, and I understand your point, but like nothing has changed. So
it was when with all the hype of the new Forsorg, like you can build your army however you want, like you can take whatever you want. It's like, okay, other than these are still caps. Like, all right, fair enough, whatever.
Can you though? Line 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Small violin. Yeah. Okay. So moving on then. So we have first things first. The Cerberus heavy tank destroyer. Do you want to take this one away, Jay?
You want to take one?
I'll take it.
You go for it.
I'll throw it. Yeah. All right. Let's go. So, Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer, it is essentially a Spartan chassis with a few tweaks. So it's movement 10, BS4, front 14, side 14, rear 13. I've never understood why the rear on these is one less. Have you?
I'm not positive if it always was. Answers in the comments, but yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. But 12 hull points, so it's got 2 extra hull points on top of a Spartan. What you get for this, you get some sponsor weapons. You get 2 sponsor mounted twin heavy bolters, which can be changed for any other sponsor weapon option on the Legion sponsor list. Las cannons tend to be quite favourable usually. And you get your centerline mounted neutron laser batteries. So we'll come back to that in just a second. You can whack a hunter killer on this thing for 5 points, which I would strongly suggest you do. And searchlights, I would suggest you ignore that like the plague, because it makes your ability to actually, we'll come back to that. Makes your ability to shroud irrelevant. You cannot shroud or damage mitigation. I think it's shroud, isn't it? You can't smoke screen or anything like that against things when you got searchlights on. It's a super heavy vehicle, of course, and it has the explodes 4+ rule. So when it's wrecked on a roll of 4+, it then explodes and does extra damage to everything.
I want to point out, not all of them have smokescreen. So I tried to be diligent about the ones that have smokescreen, but this one does. So, yeah.
So it's worth us maybe just caveat a few things as we go through. We're not going to read the super heavy rules altogether, but they are quite different. So, for example, super heavies can only react against other super heavies or similar sized targets, like Primarchs maybe, or huge demons, or whatever the situation is. So, when I said
it's Lords of War and stuff, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, okay, you can't do a shroud reaction if you have searchlights, but that might not be the biggest problem with this guy. So it might be worth having searchlights on him. Who knows? But the main reason to take a Cerberus, of course, is for its massive laser gun. So this is the, what is it called? The neutron laser battery. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's 72-inch range. 3 shots, which is useful. Range strength 10, AP 2, damage 3, and then Ordnance D. Armor Bane, Shock Suppressed, and Overload 1. There's a lot to break down on this.
So that means if they don't move, it's double damage, right?
Yeah, if you don't move, you go up to 6 damage rather than 3 damage. And you've got 3 shots. So at max, you can put out 18 damage. You know, statistically, you're going to hit with 2. So as long as you stay still, you've got potentially... Well, you've got 12 damage maybe going out if you can pen your opponent.
It's not bad, actually.
It's not bad. You still need to roll the 4 up against an AV14 target to then do the damage because you've got Armor Bane. So it's a 50-50. So, you know, statistically, you're only getting 1 damaging going through, right? So it is, but it's not bad. It could also, you know, it's a game of dice, right? So it could easily just single shot a Spartan. Depends how lucky you are. But don't rely on it. That's the thing. I think this is where having the Hunter-Killer as an additional extra and also smacking... Perhaps the las cannons on the sides would be well worth.
You love those hunter killers,
dude. Free extra damage, like a little potluck roll, is so good. But you know how this thing will be. You'll naturally fluff one of your. You'll be fighting against a land raider. You do 6 damage. Your other 2 shots miss. Your hunter killer misses as well. But then your 2 extra las cannons take off the 2 last points of damage, and you take it out of the game. So.
Oh yeah, and that's to say you have to upgrade. So a lot of these have sponsored weapons where you can then upgrade from the sponsored weapons list, but they usually start at heavy bolters.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Range 72 is useful.
For this one, I definitely would upgrade to the lasers, right?
Oh yeah, the last cannons. Yeah, you're mad not to. Shock Suppressed, pretty good. So if you hit on a 5 or 6, your opponent is snap shooting. Pretty handy. Overload 1 means if you roll a 1, you absorb the damage against yourself, which could be pretty devastating if it's considering it's Ordnance D.
So I was just gonna say, do you know off the top of your head, does the ordnance count if you don't move against you?
I mean, I guess so. It just changes the damage profile of the weapon, right? So
that's pretty rough.
3 shots, you're pretty odds on the roll 1-1. It's not unreasonable. And then you're penning yourself on a 4 up. There's gonna be a case, and please let us know if it's happened to you, where someone's rolled 1-1, turn 1. And just detonated itself straight away and given away first strike and giant killer to the opponent for themselves, which is epic. But yeah, I think he's quite cool. The overload is something to be made aware of. Yeah, what do you think, Jay? Do you think he's good? Do you think he's good?
I think it's okay. Again, it's another one. Like, I tend to shy away from overload, like things that overload. I don't know why. I don't love them. I do. I really don't like it. With things that do multiple damage, like I feel like if it just did 1 damage to you, I'd be fine with it. It's okay. Like, I think it's useful. I mean, it's cool that it has smokescreen. I love the model. Like, one of the first big Heresy games I ever played with, I played against this model, and I was just like, it gave me the giggles. I was like, it has 3 giant lasers.
Yeah,
it's really cool. But yeah, useful wise, rules wise, I would say it's decent. I would not say it's an auto take. I think if you have the model, again, you're stoked. I don't know if I'd rush out and get one right now because of the downsides of it, right? But like, I think it's perfectly usable. Yeah. And also, like, if it hits, it's gonna smoke stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if you all 3 hit, all 3 pen, and you haven't moved, man, you're just gonna destroy somebody.
Yeah. I think having 2 of these would be the key. You know, 1 on each flank. If you could fit 2 in the 3,000 points, that's what I want to see. But yeah, anyway,
I like the next one quite a bit better.
Go on, you take it away.
So the Typhon heavy siege tank. So we're looking at the same stat line, the 14, 14, 13. The 12 hull points. It's 400 points again. Starts with twin heavy bolters and has the center line Dreadhammer siege cannon. I'll finish talking about it if you don't mind looking up the Dreadhammer siege cannon. I just like saying Dreadhammer siege cannon. This one, I believe, also has smokescreen. Let me double check.
Piss.
And the only upgrades are... sorry, go ahead.
No, I'll check the smoke screen. You carry on, buddy. You carry on. Talk about.
I already found it. Yeah, it has smoke screen.
Perfect.
Is you can upgrade the sponson weapon again to lasers. On this one, I'm not so sure it is necessary to upgrade to the las cannons. You could keep the heavy bolters and keep this thing firing at troops. I don't think it's a bad thing either way. Do you want to talk to us about the Dreadhammer cannon?
Yeah, so it's range 24, which on the face of it, 'cause it changed quite a lot. It used to be, if this in the previous edition, if this thing stayed stationary, it could range 48, I think. So it's changed quite a bit. So it's always range 24. It's firepower 1, range strength 12, AP 3, damage 3, ordnance D, blast 5 inch, it's a large blast, breaching 5 up, and stun 1. So it's basically a big demolisher cannon, is what it is.
Yep.
I've played against this once, and it's amazing at taking out anything under a Land Raider. The double damage is insane. The Ordnance D, I think you always count as stationary when firing super heavy, when firing ordnance with super heavies. So we should have said that about the Cerberus. So it's not about staying still. It is on regular tanks, but super heavies get to move and fire ordnance as regular. So you can, although you've got the 24-inch fret range, you've actually got, technically a 34-inch fret range, really, because you can move in advance. So you're always getting the 6 damage instead. And it's range strength 12. So, you've played against the Demolishers. You've used them a couple times now as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
And when they work, they're really, really effective. The difference between a Demolisher on a Vindicator compared to a Laser Destroyer on a Vindicator is that you're only ever really, really getting the free damage off, because you have to stay still to get up to damage 6, and you've got that 24-inch range. So your opponent can play around that quite easily. You can't get around that with the Dreadhammer Siege Cannon on the Typhon, though.
That's what I was saying. Like, the Vindicators tend to be more defensive, in my opinion, because you're staying still and they don't want to approach you. They want to stay outside of that 24 inches. This, like you said, because you can move forward, also a bigger template, could be far more offensive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do really like this guy. I like him a little bit more than Cerberus. I mean, I guess upgrading to the las cannons is good too for this guy. I
think because you got the
it just kind of depends what you fire at. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got the split fire response and weapons anyway, so it's not really a problem, is it?
No.
And because I think you always count as stationary when you're a super heavy. I think that's the rule.
You get the 2 damage.
Doing the 2 damage from las cannons, which makes which is what you want from your las cannons anyway.
Yeah. All right. So, you've convinced me. Upgrade to the las cannons on this guy too.
I think it's worth it because you're a big juicy target as well. So you can soak up some hull points. Those las cannons should be firing for at least a couple turns before it's gone. I
will say this: if you'd bought this before and you'd put in the heavy bolters, I would not be sad. I would rip them off your model. They're still fine. It's still cheaper. And they'll still do fine, but yeah, okay. I would upgrade to the las cannons. I think
they're pretty cool. What would you prefer, Cerberus or Typhon?
I think I prefer Typhon in this rule set. I edge it out on that Overload, man. I just don't like Overload. Although I like the Cerberus model a lot. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think early game the Typhon is significantly better because there's just so much more crammed all together that you're going to clip multiple units and multiple vehicles and all sorts of things.
I think people are also going to be genuinely, for troops and for vehicles, genuinely scared of the Typhon. So they're going to be running away from it.
Yeah.
Or focusing fire on it, which will let your other things survive more.
Yeah, and this is another thing just worth mentioning, which I think is a good point to pause on, is your super heavies give up victory points, right? So you really do need to consider how you play with them. And I've had it a couple times with using mine where I've deployed it badly and lost it turn 1, or I've committed it too far forward or something along those lines. I think, okay. You need to be careful of things that are going to be deep striking down, things that are out flank. You need to be super aware of things that maybe you're able to charge it for some reason. You really do want to try and keep this thing alive because it's a lot of your points. You got a lot of your eggs in one basket. It's also the victory points, right? So you really do need. Weirdly, you need your super heavy to perform more than your other units in an odd way. If that makes sense. Good. All right. Moving on.
All right. Over
into the big toys.
Over to you.
Yeah. So the Glaive. All right. This has never kind of been right, has it? For all the additions, bless it. But it's good to speak about. So Glaive Super Heavy Special Weapons Tank. Movement 10, BS4, front 14, side 13, rear 12, and HP and hull points 18. So you get 2 sponson mounted las cannon arrays, which is awesome. Front hull mounted twin heavy bolters, and a turret mounted Volkite carronade. Do you mind looking at the Volkite carronade for me in a second, Jay?
No, I'll look it up right now.
So unlike the other 2 super heavies that we just discussed, the Fellblade chassis ones, so the Glaive, the Fellblade, and the Falchion, they can upgrade their sponsor weapons for a different set. So you've got the las cannon arrays, are 3 damage las cannons, which are pretty good. I think they're 2 shots with 3 damage. You've got the laser destroyers, which you can train up for free, which are also pretty cool. And you've also got the Gravis Heavy Bolters, which is a new thing for this edition. And I think they're in the new plastic Fellblade kit. So the Gravis Heavy Bolters are an interesting choice on these. And they're the ones that you get on the robots, which do suppress 2 to your opponents. I think 8 heavy bolter shots, something along those lines. Go ahead.
Oh no! Just watch out for your mic because you are starting to clip a little bit. So face forward and talk louder.
Thank you. Yes. So long and short of it, the heavy bolters are. What do you think about the heavy bolters on these? The Gravis heavy bolters. Do you think they're worthwhile or not?
I'm looking them up right now. No, straight up. My answer is no. But like,
moving on.
What if you're like Imperial Fist or something, maybe. I mean, the thing is what you're telling me is, do you want to trade out one of the best weapons in the game for not the best weapon in the game, right? Like those las cannon arrays are so good. Like I mean, so are you asking me if Gravis Heavy Bolters are good? Yes, they're great. But like when you are asking me if I want to trade them out for free, like for a las cannon array, my answer is hard no.
Yeah, they should not be free.
Yeah, exactly.
They should be. It should come with the Gravis Heavy Bolters, be reduced down in points, and then you pay to have the Gravis, the las cannon arrays, what they're called.
Yes, because I mean, like, what I feel like you've trapped me into with the way that this has been set up is me saying, fuck the Gravis Heavy Bolters, but that's not true. I think the Gravis Heavy Bolters are great.
Yeah.
I just think that the other ones are way, way, way better. Oh, yeah. Especially for 0 points. And if they, like you said, if they had made this, I don't know, 630 points or something, and then you had to upgrade to the las cannon arrays, okay, maybe we're talking at this point, right? It is. So the Gravis Heavy Bolters are firepower 8, right? Range strength 5, AP 4, suppressive 2. So actually they're great.
Yeah.
It's 2 of those. Like, that's a lot of shots. But like, no. I would, especially on the Glaive, which we'll get to the carronade in a second. There'd be a reason why, because you're going to want those las cannon arrays firing at stuff across the table, and the destroyers are fine. But again, the extra range on those las cannon arrays, I think, is just winning out against them.
The laser destroyers are, just touching them, they're better on the super heavies compared to like the Spartans. Because you've got the always stationary rule, right? So the heavy D is always there. So the laser destroyer is always doing 3 damage, just like the las cannon, and it is strength 10 compared to strength 9. But you do lose the 12 inches of range. So you're literally saying, would you prefer 12 inches of range or an extra point of strength?
Yeah,
that's questionable. You know, I think there's a lot to be said about which one.
I will say this, because from what I've seen, like playing against you and like what you said about being out of position, I don't think super heavies are as tough in a way as they used to be. And I would want to hang back. Yeah. So I think the longer range is going to do you better.
Rear 12 with 18 hull points is, you should be shitting yourself about showing your rear. Yeah. Like those quad rapiers, for example, with the shatter shells, they'll tear this thing in half if they get the shot on the rear arm.
Yeah.
Or even the side arm.
Yeah.
100%. It will they're not going to do 18 damage, but they'll, you know, if it's already reduced down to half, they'll tear it in half. They'll still do the rest. An autocannon team will, take it down as well. So you need to be careful with showing your flank.
As we found out, a 10-man melted gunner squad can get to the side and do enough damage against the 13 armor.
Yes.
To damage it. While the 14 armor, I was pretty confident that Pete was not going to do enough damage to penetrate to do it, right? But like he got to the side, and they blew my glaive in half when we were playing each other. So like. Yeah, I mean, this is another reason why I think that the las cannon arrays are the go-to here.
Yeah, especially if you end up having a hammer and anvil deployment as well, then you're looking at the extra range on the board anyway. I think you were literally, I know this is like more of talking about the tactics of how to use it, but I think it's worthwhile mentioning. Park this thing in the corner of your deployment zone, in a corner of your deployment zone, and just sit it there and accept it's got a firing line, and that's pretty much that.
The other thing about this is the glaive used to have a beam. And it's really disappointing that this doesn't exist anymore, because it was so fun to use. It was like a 1-inch wide beam, and it would hit everybody across the table, and you had to watch out for your troops. Like, it was super fun. You could clip yourself if you weren't the first person you were firing at. It was really, really fun. Now, the Volkite Carronade is, so it's right next to the Volkite Cannonell, is 12 shots, right? 45-inch range, 8 range strength, 3 AP, damage 2, deflagrate 8. So it's really good, but it only like targets one unit, basically.
Yeah.
And it's not AP 3. It doesn't have breaching on it. I think if it had breaching, it would be, even breaching 6 up, this would be an excellent weapon. I'm a little sad that it can't do a beam, and it can't really kill Terminators or anything. I mean, it put a lot of wounds on them, but like, it is.
If you were going to go for the Gravis heavy bolters on any of these variants, I think this is the one to do it, and just soak a unit full of wounds, because it'll be kind of fun. It won't be any. The las cannons are always going to be better, as we've discussed, but this one you're going to just pummel like 40 wounds into a unit.
My logic was
pummel something to death, but yeah.
I don't think you're wrong, but my logic was actually the other way around, where like you've put so many points in your super heavy, you're going to need something for anti-tank.
Yeah.
But if that's not an issue for whatever reason in your list, I think Pete's view is actually more correct, because this thing is a troop killer, like through and through a troop killer. Yeah. And also the coolest looking space tank ever, I think, which is why I own one. Well, because I said I'm never going to buy more than one super heavy in my life, and I'm never going to have more than one army. So I'm going to go for the one that I really want. 9 legions later. I still have a glaive for my Space Wolves.
Cool. All right. Not bad, though. It did, in the game we played against it, in the games that we played with it, when you shot it into my rapiers, it decimated them with that AP3 damage too. So, again, if it's a good...
Removed the unit.
Yeah.
They removed the unit.
Yeah, you cut out for a minute, but yeah, exactly. Moving on. So the Fellblade. Yeah. So this one, I think, is one of my favorites now, and we'll talk about. I've actually thought about getting one of these. Really? Okay.
It has. I just think it's really, really cool. The 650 points is a little rough for me. They're all 650 points. Same armor stats that we saw with the Glaive: 14 front, 13 side, 12 rear. I mean, again, you're just not going to want to drive forward. 2 sponsored mounted las cannon rays, front hull mounted twin heavy bolter, front hull mounted demolisher cannon, and the turret Fellblade accelerator cannon. It has the most firepower overall. Not the most concentrated firepower, but overall it has the most things it can shoot.
Which is, I think that's worth it, really, in the way the game plays, to be quite blunt. Do you want to do an overview on the cannon? I've got it here in front of me if you want me to dip into it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead with the cannon, yeah.
So the Fellblade accelerator cannon has 2 firing modes. You've got HE shells and AE shells. The HE shell, they're both range 100. They're both firepower 1. But they're both blast weapons, so that's not such a concern, the fact it's only 1 shot. The HE shell is range strength 8, AP 3, AP 3, damage 2, 5-inch large blast, and stun 2. So that's not bad. That's perfectly okay. The main party trick, though, is the AE shell, which is range strength 12, AP 2, damage 3, blast 3-inch, a small blast, and ordnance D. So this is quite interesting, because that thing there can do essentially the same as what the demolisher cannon can do to vehicles, but up to a 100-inch range, near enough.
Yeah.
So you don't have armor bane. Just checking. Okay, neither have armor bane, so that's fine. So you range strength 12. So I mean, against AV 14, you're looking for 3 ups, and because this is ordnance D, and so is the demolisher cannon on the front, that's potentially 12 damage across those 2 shots, which is pretty decent. You then smack the las cannons on the side, and then you've got a ton of damage coming out of this thing.
It's 6 damage, though. So I think like Rhino chassis things, you're just going to be blasting away in 1 shot. Right?
Yeah. What I'm saying, sorry, is the Fellblade accelerator cannon paired with the fact that this thing has a hull-mounted demolisher cannon means you've got 2 6 damage. You know, go up to 12 damage.
Right.
Sorry,
no, but what I'm saying, like, if I think this thing is for like destroying Rhino chassis things, like if you don't have a Land Raider closing on you because they're not getting anywhere near you, right? You can one shot a whole bunch of Rhino chassis thing, not a whole bunch, but like, you know, you could take out the Scorpius in the backfield. Like you can, it has a lot of like range to it. It also has like the 2 different, like all the 2 laser arrays on the either side, like they can support it. And I think the demolisher cannon is going to people are going to not want to close with it because they're going to have to eat that demolisher cannon or possibly 2 of those demolisher cannons, basically. Yeah. So it, like, I feel like it has a lot of range and it can be more defensive because of the demolisher cannon, because of the heavy bolter. You can shoot troops coming at it. I like this thing. Like, I think altogether, like, it feels better in a corner, I guess is what I'm saying, than some of the other ones.
Yeah, it's a better gunboat, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, actually. You could take out 3 or 4 Rhino Predator chassis vehicles instantly with the way the sponsons work as well. Like, there's a good chance you take out 2 or 3 targets a turn.
I don't know if it's worth 650 points, but like I do think that it has the potential to do a lot of damage, especially if people aren't rocking all armor 14s.
Yes. Even then, I think it's not bad, but yes, no, I agree. Good. Okay.
I think the next one is if people are rocking armor 14s.
Yes. So moving on to the Falchion, exact same stat line as we've mentioned. You get the same weapon options on the sponsons as we've mentioned, and with this guy, you get the it's not the centerline mounted las cannon arrays. That's a typo on our thing there, but it is a centerline. No drama whatsoever. Neutron wave cannon, I'm pretty sure is what it is. Yeah.
You're correct. My bad. Sorry about that, guys.
I used to have no drama. I will discipline Jay after off air. The neutral. I had a Falchion in 1st edition. It was epic. I loved it. So it's got a soft spot in my heart. But it had two options. It can either be a volcano cannon or the neutron wave cannon. Now it can just be the neutron wave cannon. So range 120, firepower 2. So this is... I don't like the way this thing works. Range strength 12, AP 2, damage 4, ordnance D, damage, and armor bane. So range strength 12 armor bane is pretty loco, right? You just don't roll a 1. Don't roll a 1.
Yeah.
That's the easy bit. The hard bit is the fact you've just got 2 BS4 shots. And to take out anything Spartan or bigger, you need to hit with both of those shots. What do you think?
I mean, this goes back to my little tugger. I forget what it's called. The Karen Venator.
Yeah.
Like, that thing is amazing. It has 2 shots, but like always misses 1. I don't know how. It can always miss 1.
Yep.
But like it's a running joke. It always misses 1. So yeah, if it works all together, this thing is flawless. But like I don't know. I mean, I think the problem also is if people aren't running lots of armor, it's not going to be as useful. But like, it could really perform, right?
I think with this guy, with the las cannon sponsons, or the rape or the destroyer sponsons, but probably the las cannon sponsons, as we spoke about.
Yeah,
you're going to nuke really whatever you look at, because you've got potentially 12 damage across your las cannons, and you've got potentially 16 damage on this main gun, right? Now, if you hit just once with this and twice with the las cannons, you're still going to pretty much take out anything that isn't a big super heavy like these guys. So it's probably going to nuke whatever it looks at. You just know you're going to roll a 1 or a 2 on turn 1 on your to hit roll, and then it's just okay, all right, that was fun.
I almost just wouldn't get greedy. Like, you're like, oh, but this spawns into this guy, this spawns into this guy, and then my main cannon will, of course, take out the Land Raider. I would just shoot everything at the Land Raider.
Yes, I think that I was going to say exactly the same thing. So the with the Fellblade, the main gun isn't gonna, it doesn't have the chance to single tap a Spartan. So you're going to, I'm going to go on that Spartan. I will put all of my guns into the Spartan. Whereas with this, you will be tempted to go, I mean, I can one-shot that Spartan, and I can also then use my laser destroyers to las cannon arrays rather to take out 2 Land Raiders as well, and 3 AV-14 vehicles turn 1. And then it's going to fluff because it's dice. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's nice that they're all quite different. It is. I don't get why they're all the same points. I think that's being kind of lazy, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And the same with all the free options on the sponsons. But I don't know. None of the other tanks are like that. It doesn't make. I don't know why they've decided. I think that they've just shoehorned this in at the end.
I don't think the Glaive would be that bad if it was cheaper, right? If it was 550 points or 500 points, like, it would be fine. I don't think it's as good as some of these other options, as the Fellblade or the Falchion. Like, but yeah, I don't understand why they're all the same points either.
Yeah, no, I agree. If the Glaive had armor bane on its strength 8, arguably it might then be enough just to still play along with AV-14, but it's the fact that it can't have AV-14 on its main gun, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's it. All right, moving on.
Is this one me? The Thunderhawk gunship.
You can do this one.
All right. So this thing comes with a center line turbo laser destroyer. Is it turbo laser destroyer or destructor? Oh no. Yeah. Go ahead and look it up. And it comes with 2 turret-mounted twin heavy bolters, 2 sponson-mounted twin heavy bolters, 2 front-mounted las cannons, and 6 centerline Hellstrike missiles. So overall, it has 32 capacity. It has a special transport, Thunderhawk transport bay. Could you flip the next slide, please?
Uh-huh.
So Thunderhawk transport bay. the smaller than ubiquitous stormbird, the Thunderhawk was designed to deliver smaller strike forces into the heart of the battle. That's the fluff. A Thunderhawk gunship can transport larger models as well as infantry. Models of any type other than vehicles may embark on a model with the special rule. However, only 2 models may be embarked that do not have the infantry or paragon type, and such a model may not have any variant of the bulky X special rule, where the value of X is greater than 6. Okay,
So you can take up to 2 contemptors is what I'm understanding.
Yeah. Or like I think a contemptor and a unit, like so you can have multiple units in there, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's cool. It's always had some sort of version of this.
Yeah.
I think that is pretty cool. The turbo laser destructor, I believe, is what it is, not the destroyer. That was my bad. It's a typo.
It's
go ahead.
You got it there, or do you want me to go?
I do, yeah. Go ahead, but go ahead.
It's so range 96, 1 shot. Blast 3-inch though, so that's okay. Range strength 12, armor AP 2, and damage 6, and armor bane. So that's
pretty good, actually.
Pretty good. Yeah, that will nuke anything predator vindicator sort of size or under.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty good. It could take out a contemptor as well, or nice tossing that into a high quality like Terminator unit or something. It's pretty handy.
The problem that you're getting, that I'm not aware that if super heavies actually get around, I don't think that they do though, is that you need to come in on a mission, right? To drop your dudes. At that point, you're only firing your defensive weapons.
Okay. Yeah, answers on a postcard if it is different.
So
we are unsure.
But as far as I'm aware, there is no difference.
Yeah.
So it's going to have the same problem that we have with a lot of the other flyers, where like it then will have to come back in on a gunboat run, and it's 685 points.
Yeah.
So it just to me goes, yes, this is a cool idea. I mean, sure, if you have one, like, go ahead and use it. I'd love to have your Thunderhawk on the table. However, I don't know how good from a game point of view. I don't know how good this is. From a cool point of view, it is one of the coolest things ever, and I would love to play against one. Effectiveness wise, don't know.
The Hellstrike missiles are dope. I've never looked into them. They're essentially hunter-killers with guided special rule, which I think means they hit Skyfire, I think. I can't remember what guided does. But there's 6 of them. Like 6 strength 9 armor bane shots. Ain't to be...
Nothing?
Yeah, that's pretty, likely will knock something out.
So you probably have this thing come in, drop off its troops. Next turn, it comes in. You have it do a gun run and blow something up.
Yeah, I think there's a couple different ways of using it. You could put like 3 line squads in there, and like for just 300 points, come in, blow as much up as possible, and then return, and then that's your late game, like grabbing your opponent's objectives stuff, and you just build a real stalwart defensive line. Or as Jay said, drop your stuff off. And then come in and be gun running from there forward. Yeah, it's got a hell of a lot of firepower actually. You got 24 bloody bolter shots.
Yeah,
cannon shots, the big gun, and then the 6 missiles. It's a hell of a lot. But yeah, you want to come in and you want to dump those Hellstrike missiles and that turbo laser into a big juicy target and just get it gone. Yeah, 685 points. It's when it bring out in plastic, we'll talk again.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
All right. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Where are we? All right. So it's little friend essentially, which is the same size, but yeah, the transporter version. So this guy's near enough the same. He has 2 less hull points though, so I'm just comparing to the other one. And he has a capacity of 20 rather than the 32 that we were just looking at. But this guy does have a special rule called auxiliary vehicle bays, which we'll bring up in a second. His weapons are very different. He has 4 turret-mounted twin heavy bolters. So he's got all the bolter Daka, but that's it. So this guy is so thematic, isn't it? It's like every big, like old sci-fi RTS of the gunboat just coming down, machine gunning everything, dropping off all its stuff and flying away. Love it. So the auxiliary transport bays. The Thunderhawk transporters are equipped with flexible armatures, able to carry a variety of Legion Astartes vehicles swiftly to the battlefield, as well as assist in their recovery and the retrieval of other heavy equipment. So a Thunderhawk transporter can transport some vehicle models as well as infantry. In addition to any other models embarked on a model with this special rule, it may also have one of the following embarked on it: up to 2 Rhino models, or 1 Land Raider Carrier or Land Raider Explorator models. So essentially, you could take 2 Rhinos filled with dudes inside this.
Yeah,
a bit like
and the 20 guys inside the actual transporter.
Yeah, so you could do 20 dudes inside, and then 24 guys across the Rhinos, essentially. It's pretty cool. It's very thematic. I always forget his goddamn name. He will comment. I know he will definitely comment because he's got his Raven Guard one. Oh my god, Nevets, I think. I think that might be his nickname, his gaming name, or his surname. I can't remember. He's got one, a big Raven Guard one. He used it in every game that I've ever seen him playing in, where he's allowed to, because he's like, yeah, I've got a Thunderhawk transport. Or was it just a regular one? I can't remember.
No, it was a Thunderhawk transport.
It's transport.
It was.
Yeah. It's so sick. So when they bring out this in plastic as well, then we'll talk. Because everyone will be buying, this. It'll obviously be a cross-part kit. It'll be a Thunderhawk and a Thunderhawk transport kit in one. 200.
I will arguably say, I like this better for this edition because it's 500 points and it only does transporter stuff. It can fire all of its stuff. So if you want to put down a whole bunch of stuff, this one is this is more focused. I mean, yes, the other one's a better gunship. 100%.
Can the Rhinos drive off when it comes in and then also deploy their guys out of the Rhinos? Can they do like the whole Russian doll,
I don't think they could charge.
No, because they've arrived. They've arrived from reserves, haven't they?
But I think that they do. I think they can deploy.
It's quite cool. Alrighty, moving on.
So the Sokar stormbird.
Have you ever seen one of these in the wild? I've never seen one in the game.
Not in the wild. I've seen one in the flesh, though. So I've actually seen one, but I've never seen one at an event, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
This guy has 2 hull-mounted las cannons on the left and right, and then hull-mounted twin heavy bolters. It is got 2 void shields to begin with, and any of the hull-mounted las cannons can be changed for Gravis heavy bolters for free, which is an interesting, especially as we know for this edition, especially as we know how it works with defensive weapons. It's actually pretty interesting to swap them for Gravis heavy bolters.
Yeah,
because it's just going to put down a bucket of shots as it lands. But I mean, then again, we've never seen any of these in the wild, so whatever your thing has, I'm sure it's fine.
Is it? It's got the missiles as well. Is that right? I can't remember.
6 center-line Hellstrike missiles. Yeah, same thing.
So that's sick. Cool.
So capacity is 52 on this guy. So I can put down
half an army.
Half an army, basically. Yeah, exactly. Flip over to the next page. So stormbirds are specifically designed to carry both infantry and engines of war into battle from orbit, allowing the versatile battle groups and even lighter vehicles to be deployed on the battlefield at once. A Sokar stormbird can transport larger models, including rhinos, as well as infantry models of any type, may embark on a model with this special rule. However, only 2 models may be embarked that do not have infantry or paragon type. Such a model may not have any variant of the bulky X special rule where the value is greater than 6. In addition, 1 rhino model may be embarked and is treated as having the bulky 12 special rule for the purpose of transport capacity. So it basically just takes up 12 slots. It's cool. It can carry a lot of stuff. I think that's really fun. It can plop down a rhino. You could just have a lot of different units in there, and the whole little battle group just gets out, which is really, really cool.
A rhino filled with dudes, 2 contemptors. What's the capacity? 52. So
52.
Contemptors, 12 leaves you 28. Yeah, and then you got 28 left. So you can have like a unit of unit of Terminators and a special weapons squad or something. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I mean, it's cool. I would love to see one of these hit the board. I don't know how great it would be. I mean, it's kind of like a base. It's like a little base because it's armor 14, lands on the board, and they're also not small. So you land your base, and your guys get out of it. It's cool. Like, I think it's really cool.
Void shields are cool as well, right? You have to pen them. Yeah. Before you can take damage on the vehicle on the vehicle itself.
Arguably, the las cannons might be fine if you're planning on landing this thing and just having it be a defensive position for people to shoot and hang out under the void shields. So, like, I don't know, man. It's really cool. I would be ecstatic to see one of these on the board. How good it is, don't know, man. But if you're gonna pay that much money, it's gonna be gret because
I want to dump
everyone's
down.
gonna be stoked.
Dump it down and just have 50 melter gunners come out and just start melter gunning, just start blasting everything. That'd be stupid. It's cool. Really want to play with this like an 8x6, like a big 6-turn game or something, and like you got like a weekend to play your game, like your 5,000 point game or whatever. Yeah, cool. Moving on. Is this last but not least? It might be last.
I think this is the last one. Yeah.
The Mastodon, surprisingly good. 600 points, movement 10, BS4. 14 front, side, and rear. 20 hull points. Capacity 42. So this thing, I've played against one once this edition. Have you played against one in this edition yet?
No, I haven't, but I've heard they're pretty good, actually.
Yeah, well, it's just the fact that vehicles are quite hard to take out now. So the fact this is a Land Raider with 20 hull points is pretty awesome, right? And I think, does it have a void shield? It does have a void shield as well, doesn't it? Yeah. So it's got a turret-mounted Sky Reaper battery. Maybe you could check out these weapons for me, Jay, if that's quite okay.
I got the Melta array up right now.
Okay, yes. And since do you want to tell us what the Melta does then? Because I think that's surprisingly handy.
So the Siege Melta array is range 12, but I mean, you are going to be driving forward with this thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's not as crazy as you'd think. Melta range is 6. Range strength is 10, which is pretty good for this. AP2, damage 4. Heavy range strength. So, again, heavy range strength.
We're strength 11 then. Super.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then blast 5-inch, which is really cool.
So strength 11, damage 4, but that goes up to damage 8 if you get within the melter rule.
Yeah, and then Melta 6.
And
so you got to get really close for the Melta rule to go off. But for a 5-inch blast, it's damn close, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think this thing is pretty cool. I mean, also, like, you're not going to want to get your Terminators running up on this thing. That is actually pretty intense. And like I said, I think the 12-inch range is not as big of a limitation as you think, because this thing is going to be moving 10 forward. So, it's got like a 22-inch threat range, I would say, effectively, right? Because this is also a box, so it's got 14, 14, 14. So you're not as worried about somebody getting behind it and blasting it, right?
Yeah.
I'll look up the Sky Reaper batter cannon right now. I'll hand it over to you for a second.
Yeah, so playing against this, it really does come down to, can you kill it turn 1? Because you have to. Because the opponent's probably got at least 20 Terminators in there. So it's got enough in there that if it gets into your back line, you're just screwed. And it will get to wherever it wants to get to. Being a super heavy, not slowed by terrain. The fact it's got the 20 hull points, it's just going to trudge on through whatever's in its path.
Sky Reaper battery is 6 shots, strength 7, AP 4, 2 damage, rapid tracking, skyfire. So not bad.
You can chuck that into an infantry squad. Yeah, and you got 2 sponsored weapons as well. I'd be really tempted to take the flamer options on this,
which you have to pay for. Everything. That's one thing to note.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The game I played against Ian with it, I just couldn't bring it down. Turn 1, I had my 3 demolishers, I had some other stuff. Sorry, my 3 vindicators with demolished cannons, some other stuff. I think I took maybe half its whole points off of it. I can't really remember now. It moved up. Even if you manage to take, let's say you've got turn 1 and you take it down to half strength, it then moves up mid-board, and then you take it down in your turn 2. It kind of doesn't matter because it's such a big footprint that when the units disembark, as long as they are able to still move in their own turn or whatever, they're where they want to be anyway, near enough. So you really do need to take it down in your turn 1 if you're going first for sure, and then try and back up against it. Unless you've got the tools that can deal with the occupants inside, then you'll be okay. But I think if you're taking one of these, you want to really lean into like the most elite close combat dudes you possibly can, because whatever's in this thing has a significant chance of getting there. Ironically, go ahead.
Oh, this is where you want the Falchion.
I was going to say, ironically, this is where all of the bigger super heavies we've been talking about is where you want. Yeah, the Falchion or the Fellblade would be 2 very good options against this. You need something to just take it out of the game straight away, because you got the Void Shield as well. So you need to bait out the Void Shield. It's super.
You want something light
to
pop those Void Shields, right? And then you pop those Void Shields, and then you slam into it with the heavy anti-tank stuff, because that's, I think, the other problem about this. And it's just altogether, I think it's one of the better super heavy. Sorry, go ahead about the assault transport rules for it.
I think you're right, and unlike the other ones, it's very similar to the Thunderhawks that we've just and the other big transports we've read. But this guy can take 4 models with, as long as the bulky rule is not greater than 6, so you can put 4 contemptors in this thing if you really want. Which is not how. The problem with contemptors is they don't necessarily get to where they want to get to anymore because they're not as survivable. But you throw 4 of them that haven't been shot at with close combat fists and whatnot, and chain fists, and just chuck them into your opponent, because they're cheap as well, right? Like 150 points. It's not crazy. Yeah.
No, I think the craziest thing is, how are you going to get that many slots for the contemptors?
Yeah.
In list building.
You take the, what's he called? The console.
Oh, the Praven. Yeah, because he has 3. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, you do 3, and then you logistical benefit 1 in off the back of him. There you go. And then
for more tips on how to unlock jank, follow us.
Oh, there's 42 capacity as well. Yeah, so he has his 40 capacity slots taken up by his 4 contemptors, and then he just sits in there by himself with his Terminator. Right? Drive forward. Yeah, it's like a really odd chariot. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Again, I think they should be putting this one out into plastic. Really, because this would sell.
I hope they do,
because this is good rules, and it's a wonderful like centerpiece model for your army. It would sell tons of these for sure. So, what is your favorite? Oh, wait, double check. I think there's nothing else left. I think this was the last one. Legion Combat.
There's the So, what is your favorite? Because I will unabashedly say mine is the Mastodon, maybe followed by the Typhon, then followed by the Fellblade. That's my like top 3.
My overall favorite would be, I think you've twisted my arm on the Fellblade. I think the Fellblade, for the way it looks, the like tank destroyer mode, the like taking everything on, is a very cool, fun thing to have. If I was going to get one, I'd take it for my Iron Warriors and give them shrapnel bolters and all of their heavy bolters, and just make it as this all suppressing, crazy killing machine. My overall favorite, rules wise, and what it would do in the game, I think, is the Mastodon for sure.
Yeah.
It's just such a good security blanket for getting your stuff there. It also looks pretty cool. There's no doubt about that. If you're doing a super heavy, on a budget, because you're playing 3K games. When I say budget, I mean budget points, not money necessarily. Then you're going to be restricted right down, because most people play 3K, don't they? I think, or maybe 350. Yeah. Well, that's what events tend to be for bigger games, anyway. You're going to struggle with certain with all the bigger ones. So toss up between the Cerberus and Typhon. I think it's dealer's choice, really, but I think Typhon. I think probably
the Typhon edges it out for me, and that's why the Typhon's in my number 2 spot instead of my number 3 spot, is because it's just more usable, cheaper, more accessible. The Cerberus might be in my number 4 spot, because it's still works as a tank destroyer and it's 400 points. So, I think this is where the Typhon and the Cerberus really shine. Is they're 400 points. They're easier to get into games. They are still good. But I think overall, the Mastodon, by the rules, is the best one. But I think the Fellblade kind of just edges it out into usefulness, because again, it can be used in so many different ways against troops, against vehicles, and it just is a cool model too. So,
the Fellblade can take out the Mastodon, but the Mastodon can't take out the Fellblade. So, I mean, if it's a head-to-head on which one is better than the other one, if they're in the same fight, the Fellblade's better. But I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? I think that just
use those heavy bolters to pop that shield.
Yeah.
Then you throw everything at it.
Yeah. What was it? The Thunderhawks, the Flyers. Sadly, in a 4-turn game with the way the Flyer Reserve rules work, you're just all of the negatives of a Storm Eagle. You're exacerbating quite heavily because you're going up to 600 odd points.
I think that the Thunderhawk Transporter is the best one out of those, because again, it's cheaper and it focused on what it does. Yeah, followed by the Stormbird, but the Thunderhawk, because it has so many cool guns, is just, and it's such a high transport capacity. It's all over the place with this rule set. Yeah,
there should be, and actually, it might be something which we can talk about just off the top of my head, Jay. I know we want to make a few different missions. I think maybe we could tinker around with maybe a mission which is perhaps a little bit more flyer friendly or something. And I think that's where you'll start to see these units creeping in as the edition grows. You'll have people making missions and for their little campaigns and that sort of stuff. I don't think you're going to see these at events because they're too generic. But if you've got one and you've got some buddies that you're always regularly playing with in each other's houses, make some missions that have some fun with the game, tweak the rules a bit to make these vehicles more useful and more viable. Good. Anything else you want to add, buddy?
Cool. No, that's it. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.